Alright, so to Marie's place, lodge repair, save up, save the game, and go hunting for another mini-boss.
Sounds good to me.
And
I can't believe that's as far as we could get, though.
Right? I thought we could have gone at least one more area. Alright, so we're rested up from Marie's place. Now, where are these guys? I think they're up north somewhere. That's not them. I know exactly who that is, and we're not going there yet.
Who is that?
No. Wait till we get there. I want to say the Metal Zaku Kings are up in Greenland, which I think that's this area. This is Greenland, isn't it?
I think so.
It's somewhere northern. Actually, no, wait. I think
this is Asia, or Europe.
So this might. But what's this big landmass over here then? Because there's a boss fight right there. Then I was actually thinking about that big one right there in the upper right corner. Mm-hmm. Well, we got our party set up to fight the Metal Zaku Kings, which, for those of you who didn't watch earlier episodes, Metal Zakus are basically Zakus with very, very high armor stats, and the only way to beat them easily is to use attacks that ignore defense, like Power Charge. Grenades, not as much. And so, consequentially, we put Resner in the Sandrock to give her a strong... How'd I end up down here? To give her a strong enough mobile suit to fight, because she's the only other person besides Tristan who has one of the Power Charge moves. Okay, there's nothing right here. Pretty certain it's over here, unless... No, I'm just off my rocker again. Oh! That's what's over here, the G system. Yeah, okay. You want to explore there real quick, or you want to go fight a boss first?
Let's explore the G system.
Okay.
Or there's boss.
I think this is the one I was thinking about. I think this is the Zaku Kings. Do you want to try this first, or you want to check out the G system first?
It don't matter, you're the one playing.
Alright, let's, if I can land. Okay, party set up accordingly. Let's go.
And it's not the Zaku Kings. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, the Zaku Kings are probably actually over on the other one. No, it is them. Alright. Let's see here. Hypercharge needs 7, so I'm going to go ahead and charge. And charge for her, and she does not have critical charge yet, so charge. Even though we're probably going to, yeah, that's going to get annoying. That's very annoying. And of course it only hit the 2 that are attacking. You. I don't like you.
So, this makes me think of... This fight makes me think of this, but have I ever discussed with you the 3 rules of good RPGs?
I don't think so.
Okay. If an RPG is good...
Yes.
There are 3 rules that can be applied to your playstyle.
Yes.
That will work.
What's that?
Okay. Rule number 1, buffs get vicious.
I do remember that, yes.
Okay, so we have discussed this before. Alright, well...
we discussed that, but I don't remember what the other 2 were.
Okay, well, this will be new for the viewers, because I'm almost positive we've never... Yeah. Buffs are always good in a good RPG.
Yes.
Otherwise, if they're just pointless, it's bad game design.
Yeah, makes sense.
In my personal opinion. Rule number 2, groups don't goof.
Which means...
If you got a group of enemies, like a large group of enemies, it should be difficult.
Alright.
Unless you're just super overpowered, a group of enemies win by numbers. Think, I don't know, Dark Souls.
This is why Dynasty Warriors is not an RPG game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy. What are they using? Are they gonna...
All Tekken.
Question is, though, are they using... I'm just gonna cast Repair All on everybody. because I don't know if they're using grenades or buffs. Or debuffs, rather. Grenades. Ow. If they... Yep, that's it. Party wipe. We weren't ready!
We were not ready. Yeah, see, groups don't goof.
Yeah.
And then the last one, and this is the most important one. In a good RPG game,
Yes.
grinding ain't groovy.
So if you have to sit there and grind for hours, it's not good?
Yeah. If it is purely determined by your level and not your skill of play,
Then the game is trash.
not trash,
But not as good as
it's
it could
just
be.
not masterpiece level, I guess you could say.
So we're looking at you, SAO, on this one. Like Kirito said, when your numbers are big enough, it doesn't matter. Talking about his
Well, I
automobile.
mean, that's not necessarily true either.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is not that you don't need to grind. It's that if the game makes you grind.
Oh.
Because in SAO, by all rights, if you were the better swordsman,
Yep.
you could still win as long as they don't have a ridiculous HP regen stat.
Like he does.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try this other boss over here instead. Alright, but so you got another example for me besides Dark Souls? Because,
Any SMT game, period.
Oh! Oh!
What is
Perfect Zeong.
that?
I forgot about you.
What is this monstrosity?
That is Shar Aznavour's final mobile suit of the 1 Year War, but actually completed. The version Shar piloted had no legs.
I don't feel like we stand a chance here.
Oh, no, we got this. We got this. I just wasn't ready for it.
Anyway.
See, these become, like, tiny spoiler for later, these, or if not these, then versions that don't have legs become random encounters later. This is not going to be super difficult. We got this. I'm thinking maybe 2 attack volleys at most. I'm going to spit this laser at you. Come at me out from my mouth.
Here's a better example. Here's a better example than just saying blanket SMT games.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy X.
Yes.
You can do the game
Yeah.
with no sphere grid. You can do the game with no sphere grid, no customization. You can cut out every single bit of the game, and as long as you were good enough, you can beat it.
Nice. So, would a good example be, ha! Didn't even have to use all 3 attacks.
Wow. Okay.
So, what a good example of the way a game does this right, Mega Man X Command Mission. Like we mentioned a long time ago back during our, that's a lot of credits. No, that's a lot of EXP, rather.
Yeah.
Back during our Mega Man X series review from way back when, we mentioned that you don't need to do a lot of grinding. You're basically going to be at the exact level you need to be. So that's a pretty good example.
Yeah.
Right, so back to Marie's place, let's get healed up and then let's check out that G system. So we got a Sensor Plus from that, so not really super exciting on that, but hey, you know, it is what it is.
It's something.
Makes you feel better after getting smacked by those Zaku Kings.
But yeah. But 99% of the time, if an RPG is good,
Yes.
you can apply those rules and have a really good time.
Nice.
And
Now, can you give me an example of a time a game does this wrong? Like especially if it's a big name game.
the big name game.
Birds are excited right now. Yeah. On the camera, y'all can probably hear that's my and Bree's pet bird, Gary. He's saying hi to everybody.
Okay, I'll give you a big name game that does the grinding ain't groovy wrong.
Yeah.
At least as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 11.
That's a lot of Dragon Quests.
Yeah. Because by my understanding, you have to. There's a bare minimum level that you essentially have to be at to feasibly fight something. Like the true in-game final boss. The lowest I could see that being done is like 60, which by, again, my understanding of it, will require some grinding.
Yes. Makes sense.
But a thing it does right to make up for that, though, is it gives you a really easy method of grinding.
And what's that?
There's a way that you can summon metal slimes, which give tons of experience.
Didn't Digimon do that too at one point? Or no, that's... I think that was golden enemies at one point. There are certain enemies that were just golden for the sake of being easy to kill and grind with. But yeah, so... That makes sense. That makes sense. You know, there's honestly saying that you have to be at a certain level to get past a certain point. Is there a game that does that, but it blocks you from story progressing?
Yes. I'm pretty sure I can think of one off the top of my head.
Not a thing of, you can't fight this boss and win because you're too weak. It's a thing of the game will not let you fight this game boss to progress the story.
Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku on the Game Boy Advance.
What? Really?
There are gates that can only be passed through by certain characters at certain levels. Which is also the first game I ever figured out how to cheese something on.
Really?
Yep. There's a gate in a particularly early area in it, in Legacy of Goku 2.
Yes.
And I think it's a level 30 gate that only Goku can go through. But you can get an enemy and draw it up to the gate.
Yes.
And your attack animation is far enough it goes through the gate. Well, the enemy can't hit through the gate.
So they can't hit through, but you can poke them just barely.
And yeah, you can poke them just barely, but here's the fun part. Every time you poke them, you do your damage, and it pops up a sign saying you can't go through. Well, that sign pops up the very next frame. So you can just rapid mash A, and you can just hit the enemy until it dies, and it'll never move away. Because normally there's a little bit of hit stun where enemies will back off.
Yeah.
Well, if you just rapid mash A, they don't have time to back off because you're pulling up the enemy.
That's mean. It's very
So
mean.
you get to that area at like level 10.
Get over there, kill the enemy.
Kill the enemy
while he can't hit you.
Yeah, you're supposed to fight that enemy at level 30 after you've gotten Goku already, or some crazy like that. And I sat there, and my maniacal 12-year-old tail grinded all the way up to 50, which is the level cap on one enemy.
Even though the gate said you can't get past here yet.
Yep.
So you're playing someone other than Goku.
Yeah, I think I was playing around with Trunks at that point, because you can play as Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku.
That's funny. It's like...
Yeah, I grinded, I'm pretty sure it was Trunks, all the way up to 50, for no real reason, just had a real good time the rest of the time on that game.
That's hilarious. So then...
That's a series I would actually kind of like to go back and play again.
Good stuff?
Real good stuff.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking of, talking about, like, just deliberate roadblocks based on, like, grinding or... Well then, can't go here. Based on grinding or collecting or what have you. I was thinking Mega Man Battle Network series, but I can't think of a moment when you need to do that for the sake of the story. Post-game, definitely, in which that's different.
Yeah.
Well,
there's...
Go ahead.
The grinding ain't groovy is kind of the hardest one to...
Mess up?
Conceptualize. Because games will do it wrong and you won't really realize what's so wrong about it. But you can generally tell. Like when you hit a wall and you prep for like 3 hours. Like, I don't know.
Well, kind of...
Here's how to put it.
Yes.
If you go up and you have to look up a guide.
Yes.
Because there's no shaming here. Sometimes you just need a guide.
Yeah.
It's video games. You're supposed to have fun, do what you gotta do.
Yes.
But if you have to look up a guide, and the guide guy straight up tells you, don't even bother trying this unless you're level 30, level 40, level 50.
Yeah.
Or something like that, because it's just not feasible to do.
Yeah.
There's a good chance it doesn't meet that criteria.
Well, I don't really want to call this segment off early because all we've done so far is kill a couple mini-bosses in the Hoary Forest and we killed the Perfect Zeong, but we haven't really done much else. The G-System's locked, got destroyed by the Zaku Kings. Well, just for the lulz, do you want to see what that terrifying other boss is? Just to see how unprepared we are for this?
Let's check it out, and then let's just get back on with the story, man.
Alright, that works for me.
Where do we even go for the story? It's been so long.
I think we need to go talk with someone at Diggin's Rock. Actually, no, wait. Okay, yeah. I know exactly where we're supposed to go. But, we'll cover that once we begin the next episode. This random patch of trees over here, I don't know what that is. Just chilling out over there. Here's
the Digimon Cyber Sleuth games are a good example, too.
Of doing it right or doing it wrong?
Doing it right, for the most part.
Where's it? There we go. Before I go in here, that kind of reminds me of one thing. It's like, it's not exactly... Well, I'll describe the situation and then I'll let you determine what you think it is. Did you ever play the Digimon World DS games?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember how you could go to a certain level cap, then you had to devolve and then re-evolve? I got to the final boss of the first one, Chronomon, or Chronomon, not Corona, Chrono.
You got Corona on the brain?
No, I was thinking, I think he's in the next one, isn't he? Like, he's one of the Sun Digimon? Like Apollomon? Yeah. So, Chronomon, his final form is one of those bosses that takes up multiple panels, and in this game, for those who don't know, if your attack hits more than one panel, it damages every single panel. So the bigger the boss, the more damage you deal with each attack. I managed to beat him, like, last a long time against him using Koromon, who was my starting partner Digimon, and I waited it out. I eventually went back, re-evolved him all the way up to War Greymon, terraforced him like twice, and he's dead, just because of how big of a power boost that gave. So, I don't know if that qualifies as anything, but it's one of those things to where the numbers just increase exponentially.
Yeah.
Alright, so, here we go.
I'll get back to the Digimon conversation after this.
After we get smacked. We're not going to win this one, I just wanted to show it off.
Oh.
Recognize him?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, the hardest part about this is the grunts. You heard me talk about drum machine guns in the past, and this is exactly why. We're not going to win, but I'm going to go down swinging. Ow.
Oh, he's got a Tober gun.
Yep. That's the mobile suit that it belongs to. So it's not that the drum machine gun does a lot of damage, it's just that there's so many of them. And you gotta deal with the Tallgeese simultaneously.
Groups don't goof.
Exactly. And now we're dead. Goodbye. I'm still here! Not for long. Yeah, so that's Tallgeese. Oh boy.
Yep.
We're gonna have to get on our grind if we want to kill that thing. So, this doesn't fall into that category we were just talking about because this is an optional boss, but so.
But yeah.
Digimon.
Yeah,
Pokemon,
Digimon.
Yeah.
Digimon it's an interesting take on it because Digimon literally does have gates that say you have to have a certain level to get through them.
Yes.
Because it has gates that say you have to have at least so many mega levels.
Yes.
Or whatever. But the reason it doesn't break the grinding ain't groovy clause is that at that particular point in time, you should, unless you've just been running away from every fight.
Me and Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah. Unless you've just been running away from every fight, you should have 4 megas when they tell you to have 4 megas.
Yes. Makes sense. So it's like kind of yes, kind of no. It's like if you don't by this point, it's your own fault.
Yeah, the 2 times that it doesn't make sense is when A, it literally tells you you cannot progress the story unless you're a certain level.
Yeah.
Or B, has such a steep curve and stats are so reliant on your level that you have to take time out of your day to grind.
That makes sense.
Here's an example.
I had a comparison I wanted to make, but I can't remember what it was. Continue.
Here's an example. This is a self-imposed one, so I don't fault the game for it.
Yeah.
The difficulty settings in Persona 4 Golden.
Yes.
The easier you play, the more experience you get.
Yes.
So at higher difficulties, it sort of breaks the grinding ain't groovy clause. But at the same time, you chose that.
Yes. That makes sense.
So that doesn't really affect the quality of the game, in my opinion.
It's more so a thing of, I did this to myself. So.
Yeah. You chose to say, hey, I have to take time out of my day to grind.
Yes. Again, I don't think I personally have ever played a game that has done that. Like, there are optional bosses that are really hard to kill unless you grind, but I can't really think of I can't think of a game that I personally played where the story won't let you progress unless you're a certain level. Like, I'm sure there has been one or two, but I just can't think of it off the top of my head. And it's probably something more along the lines of, it's one of those things to where it's like, prove your might and reach this level and then come back or something like that. It's some BS thing where it's like, yes, you did need to be that level, but the fact that it won't let you, it's like, because
here's one for you.
Maybe because I've been on something of a like watching speedrun videos binge at the moment, but it's like, I like to see how you can challenge the game in ways it doesn't expect. So it's like, if I want to fight this boss, before I'm supposed to be able to fight this boss, let me fight the boss. But it won't.
Here's an example of a game that breaks the grinding ain't groovy clause.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
The Elite Four?
Not even just the Elite Four. It's just, at a certain point, almost all the time,
Yeah.
you have to take time out of your day, quote unquote, to go and grind.
Especially in the newer ones, because like I heard it was Sword and Shield, where it's either not you can't encounter Pokemon at a certain level, but you can't catch them.
Yeah.
If you don't have a certain amount of badges.
Yep.
So that's bull. I'm not on the hate train anymore because of some of the updates they've done, but you got to give me that. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like of all the complaints I've had, that's the one that's probably the most legitimate and actually undeniably dumb.
Yeah. If I can encounter a level 35 Pangoro, I should be able to catch said level 35 Pangoro. I don't care if it's before the first gym.
Alright, well, to wrap this episode up, here's where we're going next. This volcano base here. I'd like to land inside it, but I can't. Can you just imagine just crashing inside the top of the base, just guns blazing?
That would be great.
If this were any kind of realistic, that's what we'd do. That or we get shot down immediately, just from hovering over it. Probably both. Alright, so... actually, you know what that's what gals are made for. Gals are known for suicide runs, so let's just crash this thing in there, just shoot the place up. Alright, so... Gonna stop right here, then we're gonna pick back up with the assault on this base next episode. This has been Blade Cross EXE.
And Ryoji42.
Bar Flash of Blaze Productions with MS Saga and New Dawn. Join us next time when we begin the raid on the Neo Zarth Base. Peace out.
Peace.